Hi Stampin' friends, we're going to use the Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper tonight. I'm going to show you some finished cards because I've loved this paper so much that I've already made some cards with it, even before I used it last Friday with the dies that go with it, the holly berry dies. So I'm going to show you several different possibilities with this paper. Okay, let's look at the different patterns. This one is on a crumb cake background, and it has a lot of different things that you can cut out and tuck under your sentiments. The back side is an evening evergreen, kind of varied color stripe. This pattern has pine trees. Now this would be really pretty. I don't know if you remember some of the other things. Like you could put it behind, put some white in front of it, and use it with the snowman dies, or put it behind the little snowflake cutout that goes with the snowman dies. That could be really cute. And then the back side of it is an olive and evening evergreen, kind of a mottled background. This one is kind of the same mottled, but it's both green and both reds, the real red and kind of a Poppy Parade and Cherry Cobbler, and then several colors of green. And then this, I think this one's probably one of my favorites, with the really nice, imagining a ton of colors, and mostly the shaded spruce here is the splotch, and probably old olive or mellow moss ones as the background, but these white bits really make it pop. Then this is the large poinsettia pattern, which I really like. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you the small one so kind of compare. It also has a small poinsettia pattern. On the back of the large one is kind of just a mottled red, kind of real red to Poppy Parade probably. And on the back of this one is a really pretty mottled but really nice polka dot. Then the final one is this really really nice white, but then with speckles on it, poinsettia pattern, and the back of it is like a tree bark pattern. So lots of variety there. Okay, so for the first card that I made, I just cut it out of this particular pattern, kind of the smaller poinsettia, cut my teacup out of that, and then the little It's Time for Tea, and just so you can see here that it would be pretty easy to use this with other stamps besides, the premise of this is that if you don't have the stamp set or dies, what can you do with this designer series paper? So this one has the this pattern behind it, and then this is the polka dot. Okay, then this one is a technique called twisted ribbon technique. It's just kind of a card layout. So you might want to, if you're planning to purchase Stampin' Up, I am having a thing for September and October. This will be one of the available PDFs, which it tells you how to do these and shows you like 15 other ideas of different paper patterns that you might use with this design technique. And then you can see here I have done 'Tis the Season on my sentiment layer, and added just from this same paper, just cut out some pieces, 3 pieces of holly and a thing of berries to use with it as kind of my focal point, and then just add a bow and you're done. And then this is the one that I did use this. This is the actual stamp, or actually die set here, this little thing of holly. But you can see there how nice that is with this paper. Okay. So then next, just going to show you a couple of ideas that I had with this, or different possibilities, I guess you might say. All right, so I don't know if you guys, if you've been with me very long, we have done many tent topper cards. So the tent topper idea is that it is 8.5 inches long, it's scored at 4 1/4, and it's 4 1/4 inches wide. So what it does is make a square card to begin with. So of course I just use my 4-inch square piece of paper on it. Either side of this could look nice, so let's just go ahead and show you both. And then the whole point of this, when you've got your image layer here, you'll want to put it so that you can fit it in a card. If I put it way up here, it would not fit in a card. So as I'm putting this together, which I'm gonna just go ahead and do, let's see here, whoops. Add my adhesive, line it up, there we are. And then I'm gonna put this on here. And when I cut this out, when I die cut this, I did try to get it where it's fairly well centered and one of the smaller ones so that it would look like it was nicely layered here. Then I'm just layering it on a piece of cherry cobbler. And then putting that, and this piece is the same as this, it's the mellow moss. I'm just kind of popping that on there. And then the way I make sure that I can fit it in a card is that I know that a card is just a little bigger than 5.5. So what you'll want to do is just line it up here and make sure that it's that far down so that it will fit inside the card when you adhere it. So I'm just going to go ahead. Now the best thing to do honestly on this, you could use the Stampin' Seal, but I think it's good to use the tear tape because you have a more secure hold. So like I would put one up right about there, and then I would put one more down at the bottom just so that I can be sure to get it in there. Be sure and have plenty of adhesive. And you just tear these off, pull these off, whatever. Whoopsie. And if you don't have a nail, I hear that it's good to have nails. It's good to use like little tweezers or something like that. Okay, so I'm lining this up, making sure I have it smaller than 4.25. Then I'm just making sure that I have it lined up this way, and then that I have it the way I want it to face, the way that I think that that looks the best. So okay, that looks pretty good. I think that will work. All right, and I did it so that there's no adhesive on the top. I should have mentioned that, but that was my goal. So at this point, you would just add whatever you want for your sentiment. Maybe you want a small one. Maybe you want to put the Merry Christmas on the inside. And then maybe you want to just put All is Merry and Bright on the outside. You can see here, you could make a little, like a vignette, and then let this big, pretty poinsettia here show. Maybe, let them be the focus. So I would probably layer this onto another piece of cherry cobbler or real red, whichever you've decided to use, and add a bow, and that would probably finish this card off nicely. So let me look here. I think this ribbon is actually real red, but I think that it looks fairly okay with this because, even though I've used cherry cobbler, it's such a nice color of red. I think it just kind of goes with whichever you've decided to use. So let me get this part done. And then I'll, trim up the ends, of course, before I finish. Then I would add some little red rhinestones to just kind of make it pop. And let me put a couple of those so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That may be right there. Another one, whoopsie, stuck that to my fingernail instead. That one right there. And then just a second, I'll lift this up. You see those rhinestones? I don't know if you can or not. Yeah, there we are. Maybe this one may be getting lost though. Anyway, gives it a little shine and a little more interest. All right, so for another card, I kind of wanted to show you, let's see here, just using a regular embossed background. So this was just Whisper or Basic White with this is the, well, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one with the music staff. That's what got all the music. It's Oh Come All You Faithful. It doesn't really matter if you just, you can use it any time for something musical. It doesn't have to just be Christmas, but anyway. So with this one, you might put, well, except where did I go with that? I know I had, that's too funny. I had a big die, oh here. this one will work. This wasn't the one I had earlier. And then you might just take this Merry Christmas and then put your pieces that I've cut out. Golly, painful. Okay, here they are. There we go. And you might just tuck these in. So sometimes, like this particular one has a lot of the cherry cobbler. So maybe you would put it on the cherry cobbler and use that. It has it's cherry cobbler actually, and also soft succulent. So maybe if you were going to use a lot of that, you would use that one. And maybe just tuck in several other pieces. You know, I love to do this, and I'm probably going to make you tired, but it's just such a nice look, and it really finishes off your card nicely. And I was going to show this as well. You can, you know, a lot of times I cut around and leave it as if there was a dot, so I'll leave a little edge on it. And then sometimes I like to cut close because maybe it will make it a little bit smaller image and make it fill a spot that I need to fill on a card like this. So just letting you know, there's lots of choices there. So then maybe I would tuck that there. Let's just grab a couple more of these. Kind of not exactly finish this off, but just to kind of make it look a little more complete. There's that. And then that little guy. There's that old olive colored sprig. And then maybe this one. I don't think I've used that on anything yet. Kind of put that down the side. So then there you can see how easy that one was to put together. And this is the same way. You would finish it probably with a bow, or you could make the ribbon into a design. Like, let me see here. Cut this. You might just do this ribbon like this and pop it behind. We've done this before, but in case you don't remember, I just pop that ribbon right under there. There you can see. And that just makes kind of a different look. If you're like, I have used so many bows. If you are, you know, trying to make a different look, it's definitely a different look. If you're tired of bows, if you're tired of, you know, whatever you've been doing, just another way to put your ribbon on and add to your card. Okay, then I have this one, and kind of what I wanted to do with this one is just kind of play. You know, when you have a piece left over like this, you're like, oh, it's too small. I can't use it on a full card front, but you can go ahead and use it with something, maybe not that one, but you can go ahead and use it with another pattern and just layer them like this and put your ribbon across. You know, we do that a lot. Well, I would probably put the pattern on the top. I tend to like that. And then you might want to put your sentiment in the middle, and that would make a cute look. But you could also use this with the ring, you know, like this, and make it into, like, I would pop this on dimensionals, and you could make this into a look as well. It would be super sweet. And I like how this, you could certainly use a circle and it would look great. But what I liked about the oval here is that it could really, you know, make it have kind of a different shape than we're used to. So that's just another choice there. So I feel like I've given you some ideas, and you know, I could go through this whole thing showing you all, you know, how which ones look good together and which ones don't. And yeah, this paper is just a lot of fun. This is another one that would look good. You could just use this by itself as well, and then just add green ribbons and go with kind of a monochrome sort of look for your Christmas card. And people are going to think that's super cute. Then you just need to add some things that are maybe evening evergreen. Let's see if I can grab. Okay, I don't have the open pack, but here you can see some evening evergreen and some soft succulent that would look really pretty with this particular card. So we've had this idea. We had the idea of putting this with a pattern or a there we are, putting this together and putting that in the middle, and your sentiment maybe at the bottom. And then we had this plan with just putting your card together and tucking the little cutout pieces underneath. And then our original card, which is probably the most thought out one, was our tent topper. And if you didn't see that, go back, be sure and go back and just see the little tent topper, because they are really easy and they look nice when you set them up, you know, like stand them up when someone gets their card. So if you know that your friend that you're sending it to does their cards that way, that can be really cute. And don't forget the inside of your cards. You can use the extra little bits that you cut off to make it the exact size of an inside card. You can use that little bit to embellish the inside and make it look sweet too. So I hope that you all have a great week, and I hope to see you again on Friday. Bye-bye.